Good morning, trailblazers. How are you? Oh, thank you for joining us today on our virtual tour around the world. Let me just share a little bit of information with you before we get started. We received virtual headsets through a foundation grant that Mr. Schubert and Ms. Baez wrote last year. You're going to see those on me for some of the locations. We're really thankful to the Foundation for Leon County Schools and the resources that they support us here at schools and schools around our district. So we're going to be utilizing that technology. But today is really because I miss traveling. Mrs. Keltner on spring breaks, holiday breaks during the summer. I love to travel, and due to COVID travel restrictions, I haven't been able to go anywhere, maybe to the beach here and there. And so I wanted to make sure that I kept my wanderlust going, and I wanted to bring you along. We're going to visit 15 places around the world today, depending on our time.
We're really lucky.
So some of the places you may have been to, and if you have any pictures, show them. And some of the places I've been to, I'll hold up my personal pictures. We're going to try to stay muted for most of the tour around the world, but go ahead in that chat box. When you have a question or you want to raise your hand, Mr. Schubert is here in the office. He's wearing his mask. I'm not, but we are spread out, social distance. So he will try to monitor that chat box and answer any questions, okay? We're going to be fumbling possibly with some of the technology because we're trailblazers and this is the first time we've ever done this before, but I'm hoping it works smoothly. Mr. Schubert's done a lot of background preparation for this. We have all of our tabs open. I've got some notes to share with you on places around the world. And so we're really hoping this goes smoothly and it keeps you all kind of online doing something today as it's a teacher planning day. And so this might spark you to travel to different places in the world too. But maybe towards the end, if we have visited places that you've never been before or we haven't brought up, maybe you can share your experiences and your pictures. But if any of these 15 locations we've been to, you know, put your hand up and let us know what you did in those locations, any tours you took. All right, so we'll just take a few quick questions now before we officially get started. So raise your hand if you have a question. Are we doing it through the chat box or do we just want them to?
You can see them, they can raise their hands.
You can raise your hand and visually if you have a question, then unmute yourself. Anybody have any questions? Daphne?
I forgot it.
That's okay. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of you guys. And so I may, let me flip this around. 1, 2, 3, okay. And we are recording this. So if you ever want to go back to the video and see some places and some of the sites that we're visiting or share it with your other friends and family, feel free to do that. We'll get that posted on our YouTube channel. Correct, Mr. Schubert?
Yep.
All right. So, oh, I'm sorry, Davis, did you have your hand up? Go ahead, honey.
Where are we gonna go today?
All right, so good question. Here are the 15 places real quick where we're going to visit. We're going to go down to the Amazon Rainforest in South America. We're going to go to Brazil and see the Sanctuary of Christ Redeemer statue. We're going to go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower and out to Versailles, which is a palace outside of Paris. We're going to go to Venice, Italy. Yes, we know there's a Venice, Florida, a Venice, California, but we're going to Italy and we're going to ride a gondola. We're going to go to Vienna, Austria, Prague, the Czech Republic. We're going to go to London and see the Buckingham Palace and some other sites around London. We're going to go to Malmo, Sweden, which is just across the river from Copenhagen, Denmark. We're going to go to Athens, Greece. We're going to go to the historical city of Petra in Jordan. We're going to go to the Taj Mahal in India. We're going to go down to the Great Barrier Reef and swim with some sharks and other sea life in Australia. We're going to try to get over to Japan and look at Mount Fuji, Niagara Falls, which straddles Ontario, Canada, and Niagara, New York. And then we're gonna finish up with the Statue of Liberty right here in the United States. And if we find that we can't get through all those, maybe we'll, plan a second session, but we're gonna try to get as much in as we can in an hour. And if we enjoy doing this, maybe we do it again and travel to other places in the world, okay? Does that sound like a fun list of travel experiences today?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna try to go around the globe in 60 minutes. All right, so here is my VR headset. We're about to start our tour. So again, thank you to the Foundation for Leon County Schools for approving our grant. So now I have no idea what I'm seeing. Okay, where's mine?
Here's your remote.
All right,
And I'm
so
showing
where should I look?
I'm showing
Straight
them on
ahead?
Google Earth how we are going from DeSoto Trail down to South America and the Amazon rainforest. So they're seeing that.
Okay.
And then as soon as we get over there.
Can you hear Mr. Schubert, Trailblazers? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yes, I can. Right.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm going to share your screen. Okay.
And I can't see any of that because right now I'm under a big tree in the Amazon rainforest.
Okay, you're good to go.
All right, so let's see if Ms. Keltner can use the technology. Here we go. Can you all see my screen? Are all the ads going to go away? All right.
Yeah, move the cursor up off of it.
Oh, woo, we're going down under the canopy in the Amazon rainforest. I'm going to do a 360 view. Wow, look at the lush greenery. I wonder what's down under here. I know, let's see if we can fast forward just a little bit. We can get down on the ground. Here we go.
You got it.
All right, so we're down on the ground. So, oh, there's a native. Some residents are gonna walk us through. We're gonna try to follow them through the forest and see where they're going. Do you see that big machete in his hands? Oh, he's got some bows and arrows and things. We're going this way. Oh, he must be a Seminole maybe. He was just waving his arm. All right, we're going this way. Do I follow him? Oh, now did I click too far? Oh gosh, there's a snake! Ah! Oh no, wait, what is that thing? That's not a snake.
That's like a
A
sloth.
sloth! Look at the cool sloth, Trailblazers. How interesting. He's moving very slow up the tree. Oh my goodness, look at the water. Do we see anything in the water? Should I keep spinning around?
Yeah,
Oh gosh, what's that in the water? I can't tell. Something's down there. Lots of minerals and nutrients and things that come from this Amazon rainforest that have an impact on the world everywhere. And there's lots of, oh, we're moving again. Okay. Ooh. Am I going? Oh, okay, there's a snake. Yeah. Oh, that's not my favorite. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Stay away from that snake. We're going to move up here. That is huge. Holy cow.
I think that's an anaconda.
An anaconda. Okay, oh, it's following us. All right, how do I go forward? Here we go. We're going. Interesting. But our world depends on so many things from this Amazon rainforest. See how tall it is, the trees? That we've got to be careful because we don't want to deplete these resources because they have an impact across the world. All right, Mr. Schubert, so should I try to fast forward a little bit? Let's see.
Yeah, I would jump a little bit ahead.
Oh, let's go onto the water. Is it going there? Oh, what's he, is he trying to catch fish? Lunch or dinner? They're bringing it home.
Yeah.
Look, where are they going? A path? Oh, we're going into a village. They're cooking the fish, cooking food. Should we do a 360 so we can get a quick view of the villagers? How cool is this? All right, let's see, where else should we go? Oh, let's go into a cave real quick. Is it going there or not going there?
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Okay. Oh, see, there's the deforestation of the Amazon. That could have a negative impact on our world, so we've got to conserve our resources, Trailblazers. The water, there they are back on the river. All right, should we go back up?
So are we going to?
I think, let's go back up. That's a quick visit to the Amazon rainforest. Didn't see much rain on this trip. Lots of sunshine today, but very cool. All right, look at the view out across the landscape. Huge. There we go. Helping protect us against climate change. I love that. All right, Mr. Schubert, where are we headed to next?
We are headed to another part of Brazil because the Amazon rainforest is in Brazil.
Okay.
And a bunch of other places in South America, and we're going to go to the Sanctuary of Christ the Redeemer statue. So let's
Do I click the fast forward
there.
button?
You can go ahead and load it up there. I'm showing them on Google Earth.
Skip ad.
So we zoomed out of the rainforest, and now we're going to zoom back into a part of
Rio.
Brazil, another part of Brazil. Here we go.
Whoa!
Okay, and let's switch back and see what Miss Keltner is seeing.
Can you see the Christ the Redeemer
Not yet.
statue?
But we're
Not yet.
getting there. Okay.
Look at the view, trailblazers. I'm going to do a quick 360. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful. Blue water. Oh, there's the statue. High above this beautiful city. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Can you imagine doing rock climbing up there, trailblazers? Whoa, what a trip that would be. Oh, we're seeing some tourists. We're among them. They're out here. Whoa! Look how big. I'm trying to think if I had some notes, Mr. Schubert, on my, because I can't see notes.
Yeah.
And can you see my piece of paper?
Yes.
Did I have anything written about this? Or not on this one? Maybe not.
I
on
don't
this
see notes for
one.
this.
Okay, because
You want some
wow.
statistics?
No, that's fine. Look how incredible. All right, so should I click the video to go a little further?
Yeah,
on
we can
this?
jump ahead, and then we can move to.
Oh, now we're right up on the statue. Okay, what's going on here? Oops. Oh, did I just go back? No, what happened?
No, I think.
Learning the technology, trailblazers. Be patient with me. Uh-oh, to be continued.
Okay, so
I think I went too fast.
you can just.
Sorry, trailblazers. All right, one last view of Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
All right.
And then are we going to head to the Eiffel Tower next?
Okay, let's go to the Eiffel Tower. So I'm clicking fast forward.
So we're going to zoom out of Brazil and head to the Eiffel Tower in France. So hold on, pause it, because we're still zooming there from Google Earth.
So you got my notes, so I can't read my notes.
Yeah, I'll let
If
you
you can read.
Okay, so let's go back and check out where Miss Keltner is. Here we go. She's there.
The Eiffel Tower. And trailblazers, I have been here personally, so in a minute I'm going to show you some of my personal pictures and see if you all have any stories. But this is such a beautiful view of the Eiffel Tower. So, oh my goodness, look how big. Wow. And so down here, down below is where you take the elevators up to the different observation desks. I don't know, can you see my pointers?
Yes.
And you can go all the way to the top and see everything down. And when we get up there, it looks like it's a little foggy on this particular view, but a beautiful city. And let's see, I'm trying to think of what view this is, if we can see Notre Dame in the distance. Not right this second. So, okay, let's see if we can go forward just a little bit in our video. Did I move ahead enough? Maybe not.
And then you hit the play button.
I'm trying to get, oh, maybe that's what. Okay, so now we're on the observation deck, looking around the city. I'm trying to get my bearings of where I am. We're on the elevator going all the way up to the top. If you're afraid of heights, I hope this video isn't scaring you. It's going pretty quickly. All right, let's see. And now I'm trying to get outside, Mr. Schubert, going a little.
Yeah,
So
you
now
there,
we're
I think,
going
after the
up.
elevator.
Still in the elevator.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get out to the top, guys. Here we go. All right, so now We're on one of the observation desks, and you can see all the different districts. Oh, where did it go?
So I think it cut you to a view inside.
So yes, Gustav Eiffel, that was who that gentleman was. I don't know if I'm jumping it around. I apologize, trailblazers.
It's both. It does
Okay.
cut.
So it shows his little personal space where his family would go. Oh, it's going in fast forward. Okay, so it must be getting dark. It's getting lit out there. All the beautiful lights of Paris. Am I moving around too fast?
Maybe a little.
I'm sorry. Look how beautiful. All right, let's see. That's the end of that video already. So do I pause it here or do I?
Yeah, I would. And well, how do you want to go?
Well, I want to come out and show some of my personal pictures and have a dialogue with them.
Yeah,
okay, so I can take off virtual. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to come back out of my virtual world.
I'm going to stop screen sharing.
Okay, so the Eiffel Tower was built in 1889 for the World's Fair. It's 1,050 feet tall. It was at that time the tallest man-made structure in the world for 41 years until the Chrysler Building in New York City was built. It's made of iron and weighs 10,000 tons. And it's built by the company owned by Gustav Eiffel, and who was his namesake. And if you want to learn more about it, the website is scienceforkidsclub.com. That's kind of where I got a few fun facts. So we'll put that in our presentation at the end so you can go back and visit it. How many of you, by a show of hands, have been to Paris, France before? Anybody yet? Rena? Do you have any pictures from your trip, Rena? No? Anybody? Well, I hope someday, and you can unmute yourself if you want to talk about Paris if you've been there, but I'm going to see if I can show some pictures. So do you know what a Segway is? Does anybody know what a Segway, where you stand up? It's like a stand-up motorcycle in a way. You know, you kind of go forward, back, reverse, but you're standing, you're not sitting.
Yes.
So we take, how many of you have been on a Segway before? Have you taken a Segway tour? Okay, so that's kind of how my family and I, on this particular trip, toured Paris, and it's really cool. So this was the Eiffel Tower in the background. And then this was one of the views that you can see all of Paris around. And then looking down, how many of you like soccer? They were getting ready for the World Cup and they were playing soccer down there, getting ready. And then how many of you, well, have you heard of Versailles? The Palace of Versailles, King Louis XIV, I think I have some notes.
Yes, ma'am.
12 miles outside of Paris, you can take trains. They do have cars and they travel in Europe, but the best way to get around is by bike, going on a train. It's just a lot of fun. So you can take the train out to the Palace of Versailles. And this is where it was the home of King Louis XIV. I don't know if y'all can see that clearly, lived. And so it's very grandiose. Oh, you know what? I skipped ahead. That wasn't it. That's the Louvre. Sorry. Can you see the glass dome in Paris? That's part of looking down from the Eiffel Tower. You can see the Louvre, where the famous Mona Lisa painting and the Venus de Milo. It's a wonderful painting. How many of you heard about the fire at the Cathedral of Notre Dame last year? So this was before that. Behind it, I'm not sure if you can really see the part, it was behind it that burned, but the two towers here, there's actually a wonderful documentary online that I just watched about how the brave firemen and women went in to save it. And then how many of you are zoned for Montfort Middle School? Well, there's Mr. Blessing. We are good family friends, and so we took a trip over there. And so that's us in front of the Eiffel Tower. And this is a funny picture. So a lot of people get in different angles down on the ground around the Eiffel Tower, and it'll look like you're holding it up or you're pushing it down. Kind of fun. Okay, so now the Palace of Versailles, the home of King Louis XIV. Excessive grandeur, I mean, huge. Way out there in the distance. Again, a quick train ride. Marie Antoinette. her home in the back there. And so you can rent golf carts and go all across the land, into the trees, down the Grand Canal here at Versailles. We had a fun tour there. All right. I think that was it for our Paris stop, our France stop. Anybody have any questions at this point? Everybody good? I just see Richard Tallahassee, USA. I don't see your name, sweetie. You have with your hand up. Go ahead. You have a question?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
I'm on my granddaddy's computer and my real name's Audrey. I'm just on my granddaddy's computer.
Way to go, Audrey. Thank you for coming with us on this trip today. Brianna, did you have a question, honey? I saw your hand up earlier.
Work that way on this one.
And if not, that's fine.
What did Marie Antoinette's castle look like?
The interior of the castle, you'll have to Google it, but it is full of like gold leaf ceilings and al fresco artwork, meaning it's all over in the ceiling. Lots of velvet, big, rich, thick wood furniture. I mean, it is truly a castle over the top. And so you'll have to Google maybe the Palace of Versailles and you can get more interior pictures. Okay, so part of this trip today is maybe inspiring you to visit some of these places on the internet, and they have lots of virtual tours or images that you can see for yourself. We don't have time to get into every place with too many details. Vincent, quick question. Did you have your hand up?
I seen a snake that big in the Amazon. I seen it in one of my books.
Oh, wow. Anaconda, that's huge. That would freak me out. Miss Keltner does not like snakes. I can handle roaches and spiders, but snakes are not my thing. So that's really cool, Vincent. All right, one last question. Brianna, did you have another question?
Yes, I actually love snakes. I actually had a pet snake.
Okay, good
But
for you.
was tiny. He was 6 inches long.
You're brave. Oh, well, that snake was a lot bigger than 6 inches long, but go for it. Good job, girly. All right, so now let's go to who wants to go to Venice, Italy. Are we ready? All right, so Mr. Schubert, this is we're going back into, all right, so I'm not gonna be able to see you. Here we go with our virtual reality goggles
Here's your
again.
remote, and I'm gonna show
Where's my
them
remote? Okay.
Google Earth again. Yeah, it's upside
Okay.
down, I think. Turn it around.
Oh, wait.
And I'm gonna show them Google Earth so they can see we are leaving the Eiffel Tower and we are going to jump to Venice, Italy. You might want to.
Do I hit play now?
Go ahead and hit play
Okay.
because you got to make sure you're playing the right way. And we'll join Miss Keltner.
Okay. So we're on a gondola with this nice couple, and we'll try not to focus on them too much. Let's see where we're going. Look at all the water. We're in the canals, and I have some notes. I don't know if Mr. Schubert, you want to read the notes? Do you have them? Or do I need to give it to you?
Yes.
Is that it? Okay. So we're going down the gondola. Oh gosh. Oh, it is going to speed up, guys, on the video. I'm not fast forwarding it, but it's so that we're not on a gondola the entire time. But there are businesses down here. So this is how they travel in these boats. Right now, we're not in the Grand Canal yet.
It's 118 tall.
No.
Are you reading that, Mr.
Yeah,
Schubert?
you're reading it.
Yeah, Mr. Schubert's going to tell you some facts as we go along.
So Venice is 118 little islands. And so instead of having roads that connect those pieces of land, they have these canals of water. So to get around, you navigate on these boats and gondolas. And right now, they don't have tourists, they don't have travel. So they don't have people, nearly as many people riding around on the waterways, which is actually good for the water. It's not being polluted as much. So it's a lot clearer now.
Okay. They're getting a little cozy. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. I was trying to miss that, guys. Oh, no. How do I get forward? Mr. Schubert.
Just turn around. Then you won't be behind.
Well, I was trying to get out to the Grand Canal.
Okay. I don't know if they go that far.
They don't go out. Okay.
They might
But they're
not.
showing things over here.
No. Okay,
Maybe not. Oh, sorry, guys. I was thinking that we were gonna. Nope, I went too far.
So that's
Nope. Okay, well, we're going to go back and just right. Oh, look at the kayak. I didn't see a kayak when we were there. So look at all the little bridges that people walk to. So these are all residences up here. People live in these buildings, and you can see on the wall
Townhouse.
how the water goes up and down with the tides. Right now, the water doesn't look too clear, but if you heard, oh, there's some fish down there. No, maybe that's seaweed. Mr. Schubert said that the water right now is much clearer due to COVID restrictions. Okay, we're going to leave this couple. How do I?
Okay. Well, that's pretty much.
So take that one. Do I need to pause it or just?
No, you could just take it off.
Okay.
So, and that's the end of VR for a while. We'll come back to VR later on.
All right. So now, right, show of hands. Have any of you been to Venice, Italy before? All right. So here are some of my pictures when I was on a gondola, or this actually was crossing the bridge. Here's our couple when Mr. Keltner and I looked very young, 20-some years ago, and our gondola sailor. I wish I would have remembered his name, but that was a very long time ago. All right, and then I wish I had a picture of the Grand Canal. This is St. Mark's Square, which is one of the great attractions there in Venice. Lots of tourists, lots of stores and restaurants, and they sit outside on the piazza and they have their coffee and their pastries and all their delicious Italian food. And this is the Rialto Bridge in Venice. So the Italian word for bridge is ponte, so this is Ponte di Rialto. Usually there's lots of people there. And then this is the St. Mark's Basilica. That would be in St. Mark's Square. Beautiful place. I hope you all can get there because it's very interesting to see everybody traveling by boat and not by car. Vincent, do you have a question?
I seen that big bridge. I got it from one of my passports.
Cool. That's awesome. How many of you have traveled internationally and have a passport and have had it stamped when you've gone from country to country? Isn't that cool? Yeah, very awesome.
No, I have.
Anybody have any questions? Kaden, did you have a question? No? Yakov?
I didn't have any.
You didn't have you were just raising your hand to say you had a passport?
How do you drive in from one country to that country on a car? Because we ride on the road. How does the road turn into a river?
Oh, so we came into the Grand Station. We traveled by train throughout Europe. And so you come into the main train station, and then from there you go out and it's all canals. So you just rent gondolas like you would rent a taxi. Actually, that's what they call it, water taxis. So you just kind of walk out and then there's the water and the canals. It's pretty incredible. I gotta say, it's quite a sight. Brianna, did you have a question?
I've seen that big place that almost looks like that place in Moscow.
Oh, the St. Mark's Basilica?
Yes, and isn't that like a bell tower almost?
I don't think this one had bell towers because this isn't a cathedral, it's a palace. The bell towers are going to be in cathedrals, and we'll have more pictures of those in just a little bit. Like Notre Dame had the 2 towers, those are bell towers. All right, so where should we go next? We're going to go to Vienna, Austria. There's no virtual reality. I just have some pictures and some notes to tell you. But I think Mr. Schubert's going to take us from Venice, Italy.
Yeah.
To Vienna, Austria.
Okay, so you can.
This is the Schönbrunn Palace.
You can share something.
Oh, okay.
Across in Europe on the other side of the ocean.
So here's the. I'm sorry. Oh, click share.
Well.
No? Want me to go back?
Yeah. You're good.
So this is kind of an overview of the palace there. We're just going to go in and kind of look at some pictures. Herringbone room. It's a beautiful palace where the royal family would live. All the old guards uniforms of what they used to wear. Who likes to play pool? They got a billiard room. All the beautiful antiques. All right. So if I want to unshare Mr. Schubert, am I just clicking out of there?
Just hit stop share at the top of the red button.
Oh, yep, I see. All right. So Vienna, Austria. We as a family went there right before Thanksgiving. So it was very cold. We actually saw some snow, and they were getting ready for their Christmas markets.
There's some picture by the Eiffel Tower. There's some picture of those.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Did you have something? Who was that? Aniruddha, did you want to say something, honey? So you know how we go shopping at the mall or shopping centers here in the United States? They might have malls, but their traditional ways of shopping
Yes,
in
I'm
Europe.
talking about, do you have some picture by the Eiffel Tower?
Pictures of what, Aniruddha? I'm sorry.
Eiffel Tower. Can you
The
know
towers. Yes, we're going to get to the towers in just a second, honey. So all of this back here is a Christmas market, and they're all over their cities, and the artisans bring goods that they make by hand.
Yes,
They
I
have
cannot-
chocolate.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about we're in Vienna, Austria, and this is a Christmas market,
Did you
and
went there? My God.
cathedrals are in almost every city. So this is one of their beautiful cathedrals there at Christmas time. I'm sorry, these pictures were printed on the computer. I didn't get them from my house the other day. And have you heard of Mozart? Classical music? Vienna is the home of Mozart. And so we were kind of those tacky tourists that we went in the Mozart cafe and had delicious pastries and coffees and drinks. So look up Mozart and see if you can listen to that music. Were any of you into Baby Mozart, Baby Bach, the Baby Einstein videos? You might not remember when you were little, but try classical music. All right, next we're going to go to, do I share my screen for Prague Castle?
I'm going to show them.
Oh yeah, we got to jump to Prague in the Czech Republic, Czechoslovakian Republic. So here we go to the next place.
Okay, and yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay. I don't know if did I have anything to really share? What do we have on this one? We'll stop sharing.
I think that
Do you want to
yeah,
continue?
yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Scroll
go back here
and share.
and share.
And
And now I want to go to Prague. So was I just doing the photo gallery here maybe, I think?
Yeah, or that, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. They're all different.
These are some of the things that you would see the treasures in the castle. Let me see if I go back. I don't think this is what we necessarily wanted. I'm trying to see.
Go to the the page you were on had a virtual tour, I think.
I know. Where did it go? Sorry, Trailblazers. That's what happens with technology.
Just hit the back button.
Click the back button. Take the virtual tour.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Just didn't let it go.
So now, oh, I might be switching too fast. So let's go inside the courtyard. This is the castle.
Which click the 4 arrows in the top right corner because you can make it big.
It's not going.
No. Oh, well.
Okay. Let's hit this one and we'll go over to the bridge. So in a minute, keep that view trail. Here we go. Oh, nope, it took us back to the courtyard. Darn it. I was hoping to get back over. All right, let's go into the cathedral. It moves very quickly. They're so ornate and gorgeous. Let's see, we'll go back out. Uh-oh, what happened? It's coming, bringing me back out of the courtyard.
Yeah, I think that's what it did before.
And,
It's not
okay,
showing
is it
me.
freezing out?
Yeah.
All right, so let me unshare for a second. We might have some technical glitches, but this was the picture that I got from outside the Prague Castle. So It's a beautiful place to visit. Again, during the holidays, it was especially pretty. Lots of lights. It's just a really cool place that we don't have places in the United States that are that old. So it's really neat to go back to the old European countries. All right, let's see what is next. Oh, we're gonna go to England. Who's ready to go to London? Everybody ready to go to London, Mr. Schubert?
Okay, yeah. Let's go there.
Who lives in London? Who lives in the Buckingham Palace? Anybody know?
Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth and her husband, and Prince Harry and William grew up in there. Yeah, had fun in that area. All right. So now I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to go to Buckingham Palace. All right. And so let's see. I'm thinking I just click on the pictures. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But why isn't that showing?
Click on the second one to see what it does.
Oh, I'm sorry, Trailblazers.
Try reloading this page. Just
What
hit
if I, oh, reloading it?
Yeah, just hit the on the left there, near the back button. Yeah.
Refresh.
There it is.
Okay, here it goes.
We're trying to do a lot.
We are trying to do a lot of technology. You should see me. I should have shown a. Oh, here we go. All right. So this is a 360 view. It's going to move around the throne. That's where the king and queen would sit. The grand staircase. See all the gold leafing and how ornate everything is. Kind of like that would be what Versailles was. Somebody was asking me what it looked like. Very grandiose. I mean, our houses don't look like this in the United States, do they? I mean, very, yeah. All right, let's see. Can I go to a different room? It's not letting me go that. There's the outside. We'll send a list of the resources that you can see too. All right, so now I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And that was the outside view. There's Miss Keltner and her husband in front of the Buckingham Palace. How many of you have heard of Big Ben, the big clock in Parliament there in London? Anybody know what a double-decker bus is? We don't have them here.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Yes. This was where
I've been to England, but we didn't get to ride a double-decker bus.
Gotcha.
We've been to Buckingham Palace. Actually, there.
I've been in a double-decker bus.
Very nice. There.
Margaret,
Martin. Oh, look, Ben brought a double-decker bus. Awesome, buddy. Hang on, let me get a screenshot of that. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Cool. And then there we are with the palace guard. You know, they are very stoic. They don't show any emotion. We didn't try to get them to smile, but there are some tourists that'll go up there and say funny things and try to get them to smirk. And man, they just do not show any emotion. They're trained and very, yeah, they're just very focused. So have you heard of the Raiders of the Lost Ark? And you know who Indiana Jones is and how they collected different things from around the world? Have you heard of the Rosetta Stone? It's this big stone that is in the British Museum in London. And it's famous. I want you to kind of Google it when you get a chance and learn more about it. I don't think you can see it here, but it's all hieroglyphics. So it's not in letters like we learn in English. It's all in symbols. And where's my fact sheet? My fact sheet says the Rosetta Stone is made of granodiorite. Granodiorite, I can pronounce that. It's inscribed with hieroglyphics from Egypt. And Jean-Francois Champion, I can't speak French, but we can Google that later. He deciphered the hieroglyphics in 1822. So famous piece of artwork in the British Museum of Art. And so you should try to check that out when you're in London. All right, quick trip from Buckingham Palace. Where are we going to next, Mr. Schubert? We're going to Sweden.
Right?
Ready to go? Here we go from London, England.
There. And you can go ahead and get your screen share. Right?
Okay.
here we are in Sweden.
Oh, share. Let me
Look
get
at
to
some-
Malmo. So Malmo. Uh-oh, where's my mouse?
It might be on the other screen.
Okay. Oh. Why is
Yeah,
it going?
it's covered up
There we go. So here we're just going to show you some different pictures from Malmo, Sweden. So if you looked on the map, it's just across the waterway from Copenhagen, Denmark. And so we took the train back and forth between the two cities. So how many of you have heard of the Little Mermaid? There is actually a statue in Denmark, in Copenhagen, of that. I did not bring a picture of that today because we are actually going to Malmo, but I wanted to just show you this unique city in Sweden. And do you see this picture? This is called the Twisting Torso. So where did my notes go? It's a residential building. So there are people that actually live in this futuristic art building. And this is the city of Malmo on the water in Scandinavia. Let's see, what else do we have in Malmo? Oh, and how many of you have eaten Swedish meatballs before? They really are a thing. Let's see, let's go down. Again, in Europe, you'll see on the streets, lots of businesses and restaurants here. And then above are where the people live. So that's the Grand Square there, downtown. How do I close this one out? I was going to try to get back to, yeah.
It's just go up the top, but I would close all these tabs that you've done.
Okay. I wanted to show you guys a couple of pictures to make reference of some personal pictures I have, and I don't see it on here. I thought we had it down here. How many of you have heard of John Lennon?
Oh, it's in another tab.
Oh, it's in another oh, that's right.
So just
No.
It's the last one. It's not.
Oh, no, hang on. We're going to
to
Taj Mahal. Oh,
yeah,
street art. There we go. So, no, it went back. Oh, goodness. Sorry, Trailblazers. It's hopping around. Things to do in Malmo. We closed out of it.
Yeah.
It went out. So there's some famous artwork. So I'll just kind of click out of here right now.
Yeah, you can end your screen share. Yeah.
And then I can go back to, there's the Twisting Torso, which is the tallest building in Scandinavia. Like I said, it's a residential, so people live there. This is the castle in Malmo. What do you notice about this castle compared to the castles we've seen already? Versailles and Buckingham Palace. Brianna?
It's not as big,
It's not as big.
and it looks pretty old and weathered down.
It's kind of old and run down. Does it look very grandiose and decorated? No, very different. So that would show you the economy from different countries back then and who had money and who didn't have money to spend on their castles and things. So this is one of the pictures I wanted to show you too. It's a gun with a twisted end. So Malmo is making a statement after John Lennon was killed about gun control and can we stop and be peaceful? Because that's what John Lennon talked about, world peace and everybody getting along. And then about, a couple hours outside of Malmo is this place called Nimis. And I want you to Google it, Trailblazers. This is all driftwood. This artist, Lars Vilks, made this driftwood structure and you can walk in it. My kids are up in here. I said, no, I'm not going up in it, but my kids are up here in this structure somewhere. And this man took 2 years to build this in the Kullaberg Nature Reserve. Now, what's interesting is that nobody knew he was building it until they picked it up on satellite and kept seeing over time that there was a structure being built. So he would go into the nature reserve, collect the driftwood, and make all these interlocking walkways up here. So it took him 2 years until the authorities discovered it, but it's a really cool place out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we had to hike up rocks and things. So check out Nimis if you go to Malmo, Sweden. All right, let's see what's next, Mr. Schubert. Now we're going someplace I've never been before. Like I said, part of this trip is that I miss traveling and I want to go to new places. So we're going to Athens, Greece. So I'm going to screen share, right?
Yeah, you can get that ready while I'm going to Greece here. Okay, here we are in Athens.
Okay, this keeps, it's going away.
Close. That's going to be in your way. So close some of these other tabs, starting on the left there, and then it'll move them all over.
See, Miss Keltner's learning
done with that
technology
one.
as she goes to Trailblazers, trying to get.
Okay.
All right, so now we're in the Acropolis. All right, let's start our virtual tour. So ancient Greece. Okay, let's try the Parthenon. Am I just clicking on? I think I've got to click. Do I go or later?
Hit go. Yeah, now you're in it. Now you can click those at the top, I think. Although
Uh-oh.
it should have a big picture in the middle there. Try refreshing this page too. Maybe they didn't.
Thank you for your patience, Trailblazers. Well, do I click on Parthenon?
Yeah,
Do I
click
just
on one of those down there, yeah.
go later?
No, hit go.
Hit go.
Should.
Now maybe it's working. There we go, the ancient ruins of Greece. So you're going to be reading about Greek mythology and different things in history when you get older in middle school and high school. So these are kind of some views. So can I go to these different places? Oh, here's a 360 view of the ruins. And this is a place I've never been to. This is my bucket list. I want to go there. Look at all the statues and the stone. Can you imagine how long it would have taken to build all of these things? They didn't have cranes and the machinery that we have today. It would have all been done by manpower and moving things. Whoa, look at that. That would have been a grand palace back in the day. Look at that. Can we go? I don't know, just let you move up? Not really. So again, we'll do a 360 view here, Trailblazers. To see that. Pompeia, Athena, Nike. Let's see what this shows. Maybe her tomb or her palace.
What's a 360?
A 360 view means we can go around in a complete circle and see what's all around the ruins. So this sits up on the hill overlooking Athens. Let's see some more ruins here. How are we doing on time, Mr. Schubert?
We'll probably run over it now.
Yeah, we're running over a little bit, guys.
But we're still, okay.
I think they're working on restoring and making sure that we can keep these ruins. So they're doing some work on it. Let's go to the Parthenon. The Grand Palace there. Yep, they're doing some work. More views. Wow, incredible. All right, so that is Athens, Greece. All right, so I'm going to close out of that, right? And then we're going to go to Petra, the ancient. We're going to go to Jordan. So now we're going to lift off from Greece. We're going to be landing in the ancient city of Petra. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Got to share my screen.
We're getting better at this.
Yep. First time. We'll make the next trip even better. All right. So do I just want to click Discover Petra?
This is Al-Khazna, or the Treasury. Its impressive 40-meter-high facade and elaborate carvings cut deep into the rock face make it a world-famous landmark within Petra. Most archaeologists believe that in Nabatean times, this was a tomb for a person of great significance.
But how do I go to the next picture? Map. Oh, it's going to take us around through the city. Okay.
After visiting the Treasury, we come to the Street of Facades, the route that leads us down into the heart of the city of Petra. Lining both cliffs, vast numbers of tall, impressive tombs stack 4 high in places. A mixture of different...
Trailblazers, we're trying to get this screen sharing together.
And uncheck that bottom left box.
There we go.
And choose Chrome.
Oh, no.
That's fine. Yeah, choose.
Click this one too.
Choose Chrome. Yeah, no, but choose Chrome. Yeah, that's good.
All right, now we shouldn't hear any video or audio. Was it quiet? All right, so do you see how this ancient city of Petra was built into the rock and the stone? Those are all houses in different places. So I'm trying to go around. Here's the theater. Oh, no, we still hear a little bit of it. They don't hear it. Okay. So let's see if we can do a 360 view here. So this is where they would have plays and different shows, entertainment. These are the benches that people, obviously they're worn over the years, but this would be the theater. Let's see. This is an old colonnade street of where they would probably use their horse and buggies and things, their carts to move their wares along the streets, the things that they wanted to sell. Now we're getting into the temple.
Literally translated as the house of the daughter of the Pharaohs, the temple of Al-Khazir al-Bint was once a very important place within.
I can't see what kind of animals. I don't know if those would be camels or not down there, trailblazers. I'm not sure. Let's see, what's up here?
Welcome to Little Petra, a smaller, almost.
Oh, do you see how down in the ravines you can see the people walking? So there would be rooms down in here. Everything built into the rock. Something's vibrating here. Oh, let's see. Oh, and a temple. I wish we could go inside. I'm sorry. I don't think they do that on this tour. But I just wanted you to see very dry area, sandy. Let's see what else is out here. Another room. Okay. So we're going to stop sharing the screen now.
We're gonna go to the next.
Okay, how do I get the audio off? I still hear the audio from the tour.
Just
Do I go back to shares?
go back to that Chrome tab.
Oh, over here.
Yeah, open Chrome there.
Okay,
You
and then
ju-
let
you
me
can just
close out of
close
it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now
Now what are we jumping to?
I'm going back to
Taj Mahal?
Zoom. So I wanted to show you a couple of pictures from Petra. I haven't been there, but my son was there. So here's he and his friends. Can you see the dry landscape up in the mountains with the ancient city in the back? And it's very hot, so they wear the head coverings to make sure they stay cool. They went very authentic in their stone city. Do you remember seeing one of the walkways where the little rooms and things were down there in the ravine? The opening to the ancient city. And then if you remember the very beginning, one of the famous entrances to, I guess, would be their palace at the time. Again, I don't have interior pictures, but something very different from our architecture and what we have here in America, right, trailblazers? Very, very different. All right, so let's see next. Who wants to go real quick to India? Is everybody good on time? Do you all need to finish right at 11, or can we go over a little bit? Everybody good, you think? Okay, we'll keep going. All right, so I'm going to go back to share screen. All right, so now I'm on the Taj Mahal. Do we just go to
reload that?
Reload
page,
it.
'cause I
Okay.
don't-
Getting direction. Look how beautiful. The crown jewel of India, Taj Mahal. All right, so do I click this to get into the pictures? This might just be outside, trailblazers. This is in Agra, India. Another place on my bucket list. Is it virtual?
No, but the next one.
Okay, so I guess I'm trying to see if we can actually get inside. Hang on. Oh, there it is. So there looks like there's a big plaza outside the Taj Mahal. I don't know what that is. See, I got to do my research. So maybe if I travel here in the future, if you go, we know what this is exactly. I wonder, we could Google it. Look how beautiful. Let's see if we go this way. I'm wondering if it'll let us get much closer. They're doing some work. All right, well, we're going to pause that right there. That's the Taj Mahal in Agra, India. Next, are you ready to go on another virtual? Oh, Devin, did you have a question?
Yeah, that red thing, it's a print. He made it for a princess that died for the grave.
Oh, All right, you want to say that one more time? Did everybody hear Devin? The prince?
A prince made that red
the Taj Mahal.
the Taj Mahal for his princess that died.
Oh, in her honor because she died. Wow. Have you been there, Devin?
I'm going there for my grandma's 80th birthday because he's from India.
Wonderful. Will you bring us back some pictures so we can show it?
Sure.
Or sometime. Okay. When are you? Well, I guess are you going when COVID is under control, or do you already have the trip plan?
After COVID, and it's probably we own a whole. It's technically a house, but we own something, so we're gonna stay there for 2 weeks.
Wonderful.
And my cousins are coming with us.
Enjoy. Oh, I can't wait to hear all about it because that, like I said, is on my bucket list. I want to get there someday. Wonderful. All right, so we're ready to go to virtual. We're going to Australia, Trailblazers. Get your passports out. Here we go. Wait, where's my... All right. Oh, we're going to the Great Barrier Reef. Do I just click? Let's see.
Yes, so hold on. Let me get it shared so we can watch with you. Okay, and you're just going to hit play.
Whoa.
You're underwater.
Cool. Look at all the fish.
This is a 180, so you can.
Oh, 180. Okay, so this is only going to go from left to right, guys. I can't go 360.
Is it 3D?
It's 3D. I can like almost reach out and touch the fish. Oh, you can't see.
We can see the 3D effect, but that's why it's 180. Instead of seeing all the way around, you're seeing.
All right, let me see if I can go and move forward just a little bit, Trailblazers. Get us in a different area. Didn't go anywhere. We're still. Here we go. You see more fish? I want to see some more of the coral because I want them to get a view of, there we go. Look down deep. Oh, there we go. A little more light. Look at all the different colors of coral, live coral. Can you see it moving, Trailblazers? Interesting. Oh, there's some divers up here to the right. Oh, and we're down under the water. There's some fish. Let's see. Let me see if I can move ahead. Woo!
Yeah, there's some coral. You can probably click out in the picture and it should get rid of all that.
Oh, sorry guys. I'm still learning how to navigate with. Oh, look at that coral. Look how pretty. Oh, it's almost like you can reach out and touch it. Look how flat. Oh, interesting. I've not seen coral like that before. Very cool. Oh my gosh. I wonder when I can get out of the virtual reality. I want to know how many of you have ever scuba dived before or like to swim or snorkel and see what's down under the water. Gorgeous. I wonder what the temperature of the water here. They have the opposite seasons. So when we're in summer, they're in winter. And when we're in winter, they're in summer. Let's see, I'm just jumping ahead a little bit more, guys, to give you a good view of how pretty. I wonder if there's any eels down there. I wonder what else we would see swimming around. Another wonder of the world, the seven wonders of the world.
So
all right, I think that's the end of that video. All right, so am I coming out of here now?
Yeah, because we're gonna go. Did you have pictures?
I've never been there, so that's one place that's on my bucket list. So I do not have any pictures or anything to show you from there.
Japan because we're over in that little hemisphere.
Okay, so let's go to Japan and see Mount Fuji since we're in that side of the world. Do I have a share the screen to get ready for? Yes.
Yeah, hold on,
okay.
don't start it yet,
okay. Here we go. So we're going from the down under back to the northern hemisphere. This is so cool. Being the Google Earth. Thank you, Mr. Schubert. All right. So let me get over here and share, but I need to get out of Taj Mahal because now we're in Japan. All right, so I do have a couple of facts here. Mount Fuji is the highest mountain in Japan, and they call it Fuji-san. It's 12,388 feet tall. It's the symbol of Japan because it contributes to Japan's physical, cultural, and spiritual geography. So let's see if we can find some pictures. Do I go down here?
Yeah, I don't know what else in here.
Let's see. I think it was Explore in Street View.
Yeah, that's probably right.
That's Paris. That's not Japan.
No, that's.
Hang on, trailblazers.
That took you to the main street. Just keep scrolling down.
Okay.
I think that there's.
I knew we had. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So we can try to get into. Well.
It's yeah.
Oh, I'm just twisting from here. Okay.
It's street view.
Maybe that's a research lab or a tower or the observation deck that's up at the top of Mount Fuji. You can see the view from there. I'm hoping we can actually see the mountain though. I don't know. What if I scroll down a little bit more?
Yeah.
Well, this is actually going on a tour and a walking tour. I don't think we want to do that one. More views of Mount. Let's see. Oh, nope, that went back to the other.
Are we done now?
Almost. Almost. All right. I was hoping there would be a better view of Mount Fuji. Here we go. There it is. Can you see it? We won't take too long here. Just see if I can click through. They got hikers going up there, the big volcano. Oh, look at the view down below. Walking up the side of the volcano. Oh, there must be an entrance. Kind of going fast. I know, trailblazers. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it looks like. All right. So click out of there.
And all we have
And then
left is
stop the share.
Niagara and the statue.
Anybody been to Japan? Anybody seen Mount Fuji?
Nope.
No? Not yet? Those three little letters, Y-E-T, yet, trailblazers. I want you to be trailblazers and see the world. All right, who wants to come back to the United States? Are we ready? All right, let's go to Niagara Falls. Has anybody heard of that? That's a VR? Okay.
Yeah, it's the last VR.
I've been there.
You've been there? Do you have any pictures to share with us in a little bit? Maybe?
Niagara Falls.
All right, let's get back to virtual reality. Oh, we're still
So
underwater.
yeah, hit the next button.
Hang on. Oop, I don't have my pointer.
My mom said she had some, but she doesn't have them printed out.
Is this the last one?
There we go.
Hit the next button. You may have an ad.
Oh,
okay, perfect.
there we go. Click the arrows.
So yeah, just
okay. So I just want to
ignore
kind of
that,
scoot
yeah.
us along here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're coming out. Now this is the Canadian side. I believe we're in Ontario. All right. There it is, everybody. And I think this is a 360 view. So I'm going to do a quick little turnaround in my chair. Look at all the tourists. I wonder why they have all the rain ponchos on. What do you think, trailblazers? I just saw water. That's why they're getting wet.
It's the mist.
Let's look up. Whoa! Look at all that water. I do have some, Mr. Schubert, can you see the fact sheet I have? And read off the little notes?
Yeah,
Oh my
so
God, look at the boat.
it's 3 different waterfalls,
Whoa.
150,000 gallons of water, which is that every day?
Going over, every day.
Or every second, maybe?
Yeah, I don't do the time, sorry.
20% of the world's fresh water
is attributed from here and the Great Lakes around Michigan. So
they're all a big system.
Yep. So we are on, this is Canada. Can you see my pointer? We're in Ontario. Over there is Niagara, New York. And so the falls span the 2 countries here. Wow. Look at the water coming from the waterfall. That's why you would need the rain ponchos or the water ponchos. Oh my goodness. How cool. Oh, now it's a sunny day, so there's no rain. They're just getting maybe a little bit of water. Oh no, they're not even really getting wet. And there's the maple leaf, the Canadian flag, the Welcome Center. Wow, they're like right over the water. How cool is that, trailblazers? Feels like you can touch it. I wonder how loud. Is there sound on here, Mr. Schubert?
There probably is. We just don't.
We just didn't have it turned
we don't
on.
Have it turned on.
All right, so that was Niagara Falls, someplace you can go to here in the United States. And then I think, was that our last virtual?
The last thing we're gonna do is go to the Statue of Liberty in New York, which is just not that far.
Not too far. Who said they went to Niagara Falls? Did you have any pictures to show?
My mom said she has some, but none of them were printed out.
No, okay, that's fine. As long as you've been there, that's really neat.
It was very cool.
Thomas, do you have your hand up?
We even got to go on the boat tour.
You did the boat tour? Did you get wet?
Very.
Very wet. Oh, cool. Does it really bring you up under the fall? Like you're getting a lot of the mist from it?
Yeah.
I was there with him. I just can't do it on my Zoom because I'm on a laptop and the speaker is broken.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, very cool. Maybe y'all can send those pictures and we can post them. I think that sounds really cool. All right, so now we're going to the Statue of Liberty. And where is the Statue of Liberty?
New York. It's in New York.
New York.
I've also
is
been
it really
there.
in New York City?
Not really. No.
Not really. It's in New Jersey, isn't it?
New York.
So let's see. I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. All right. So now I think I'm just clicking through the images on this one. All right.
Yeah, and I think we can pan around.
So I do have some facts about this. Let's see if I get in here. So click to enter tour.
Yep.
So the full name of the Statue of Liberty is Liberty Enlightening the World. It was a gift from France in 1886 to the United States. It's the robed Roman goddess of freedom, Libertas. She holds a torch and a tablet, which is inscribed with the date July 4th of 1776 in honor of our Declaration of Independence. And there are 354 stairs up to the crown. So let's see. So this looks like it must be the gold torch that, yep. And on this particular, let's see. I don't see anybody walking. All right, how do I go to the next?
You put the arrows at the bottom. Oh. Oh yeah, that's probably easier.
Okay, so that's where I was, up there in the torch.
Well, the pictures might let you choose.
And now we're coming down, yep, in from her arm, which I don't think is on the actual tour. So let's go back up to the crown. Let's see what the view, ooh. So the harbor, oh, those must be the stairs, the 354 stairs. How do we get outside? Can we go, should I just stay here on the inside or should I go to the exterior? Maybe I'll go out here. I am totally just, no, observation deck. Let's see what's out there. There we go. So that's one of the decks around her that you can see. New York City, New Jersey, the port. Let's see if we go this way. Does it let you go? No, it doesn't let you go that way. There she is. How pretty. And I know that she was under restoration some years ago, making sure she was all cleaned up, ready to go, welcoming others from around the world to the United States, looking for freedom. There's a view of New York City, Manhattan skyline. Let's see if we go, let me click over here. So that's looking out. There's the World Trade Center. So you can take a boat, take the ferry out to, let me go down, let's see what this view looks like. Not much there. Let's see if we can look out. There we go, walking up. She's from behind the plaza. Let's go out to the flagpole. I will say if you do any field trips with Montford, actually Deer Lake goes to New York too. They do New York and Washington, D.C. Montford goes to D.C., but if you're in chorus or drama, Miss Drew, one of the teachers at Montford, takes her students to New York. And that's where some of the pictures I had, I couldn't find them for this virtual field trip, but you'll actually come out and take the boat and be able to visit the Statue of Liberty. All right, so that is New York. And then I'm gonna stop sharing. And I was there last New Year's with my family. It was a cold, rainy day, but we still got to see Lady Libertas in the background. So that's our virtual tour today, Trailblazers of Around the World. Did it inspire you to go anywhere? And we're coming back to the United States on Google Maps. So do you want to unmute yourselves and ask any questions? Or now's the time that I'd like for you to share pictures from your travels and maybe where you have been. Did any of you collect any pictures to share? All right, Willa, you want to go first? Show us your picture.
This is me and my mama when I was at Rainbow Road, I think.
Rainbow Road?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? I've not heard of Rainbow Road. Should I know about Rainbow Road? Where is it?
I'm sorry, that was a very long time ago, so I don't really remember any of it.
Okay, that's good. But that's fine. Oh, I think I froze. No, I'm back. All right, who else has pictures to share of where they traveled? I'm going to Google Rainbow Road so I know, Willa, where that will be the next time we talk. Yakov?
I've been in Russia, Moscow,
Nice.
and here I have a picture of me and my brother.
Wonderful. That's on my bucket list someday. I'd love to get to Russia and see Moscow and different things there. I love it. Very
There are
cool.
a bunch of things there.
Lots of things there, I bet. St. Petersburg and all the sights and sounds there. All right, Ben, did you have some pictures to show?
I wanted to share I have an English pound.
Very good. Yes, the English money. Have you been to England? Have you been to be able to spend the money?
No, but my great aunt has been.
Very good. Well, I hope you get there someday. They speak English, but it has a completely different accent than what we have. It's very interesting. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Richard, yep. I can't remember that student's name. I'm so sorry, honey.
My name's Audrey.
Audrey, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead, honey, Audrey.
That's the, there's no picture.
Oh, is that Venice? Where is that?
Yeah, that's Venice.
Beautiful. Have you been there, Audrey?
No, but my granddaddy has. Oh, grandma,
Does he remember riding a gondola or taking the boats?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Delicious food. Mm-hmm.
Yes, wonderful.
Love it. All right, who else? All right, Brianna.
I don't have pictures of the place, but of the two places that were pretty spectacular, we went to Mystic, Connecticut, and we actually drove through New York.
Very
so
cool.
we didn't go, and then we also went to the St. Louis Arch.
Oh, I've been there too. I didn't go up in the arch, but I've seen it in person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big. So did you go to Mystic Pizza in Mystic? No. There was a movie, Mystic Pizza, for when you all get a little older. One of Julia Roberts' first movies takes place in a place called Mystic Pizza is the backdrop for the movie in Mystic. So little trivia there from the 1980s.
Going to a wedding.
Who else? I'm sorry.
We were actually going to a wedding. My mom's friend's wedding.
Going to
And
a
we
wedding?
were to be the flower girls.
Very nice. We'll have fun at the wedding. Anybody else want to share any travels they've done? Anybody? No? Well, I hope you all have enjoyed our trip around the world. Vincent, did you have something to add?
I went to the Liberty Bell when I was a baby.
In Philadelphia, very cool. Yeah, some of my family members have been there, but I haven't gotten there yet. We drove through Philly, but I want to go see it in person. Now, is it the third graders that before COVID, we did the play, the Liberty Bell? Is it third grade that did the history? I'm trying to remember which grade. So you'll learn more about the Liberty Bell when we do the play. Ben's saying yes.
I've seen the Liberty Bell.
Was it second grade or third grade?
I think it's second grade.
It might have been second grade, actually. Yeah.
I've been to Philadelphia.
You've been to
The Liberty
Philadelphia?
Bell there too.
Did you have a Philly cheesesteak?
Yeah.
It was good.
Kaden, you got your hand up? Go ahead.
Oh, I just said what I wanted to show.
I can't hear you, Kaden. Sorry.
I just said what I wanted to share.
Oh, you already shared it. Okay, sorry. I must not have been. Okay. Am I missing anybody? Anybody else want to share where they've traveled to? Caroline, did you have your hand up? Want to unmute?
No.
No. The audio's not working. I'm sorry, Caroline. It's going in and out. Ben, did you want to share another place you've been?
All right, it's Emily's turn. Let her talk.
We've been to Colorado.
Ooh, did you go during the summer or the winter?
Summer, but it was pretty cold up in the.
It was still pretty cold. So did you hike? Did you see snow still up on the peaks?
No, but yeah,
Some.
not really.
Snow. Yeah, but not like in the wintertime. Yeah.
It was freezing up at Rocky Mountain National Park.
Very cool. Yeah, I've been to Denver and went skiing in Breckenridge. So yeah, definitely been up there in the cold, but it's a lot of fun. Big mountains. Very different than even here our Appalachian Mountains and skiing. Very different, but beautiful out there. Anybody else want to share any travels they've done? All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this virtual tour of the world, Trailblazers. Thank you for trailblazing on this adventure with me and learning the technology. Big round of applause to Mr. Schubert for getting Google Earth and all the links ready to go. And let's do another round of applause for the Foundation for Leon County Schools for funding our grant last year for this virtual reality headsets to make this possible. All right, Trailblazers, I miss you. Is anybody... Oh, I'm sorry. You have your hand up, honey. Go ahead.
That we went there to see my dad's brother.
You went to see your dad's brother. I would bet he was very happy to see you all.
This help
I'm sorry?
and his how
Okay, I thought somebody was talking, maybe not. All right, so real quickly, are any of you coming back on campus tomorrow? Or are you all staying Digital Academy, or how many are coming back to campus? Raise your hand if you're coming to campus tomorrow.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I will say I miss you all, whether you're here in brick and mortar on campus or doing our Digital Academy. I truly miss you, Trailblazers. I hope however you are learning right now, it's going smoothly for you. We're always here for you. And we'll continue to maybe do these virtual interactive kind of trips, because this is really great to see you guys. So this has been recorded. It'll be on our YouTube video. We'll send it out. Oh, I love the glove, Vincent. Now you can go back and look at all the places we came to. Kaylin, did you have a question? No, you're just raising your hand that you're coming back on campus? All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, bye, Trailblazers. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thank your parents for getting you all connected too, okay?
Bye.
Wait, let me get one more picture. Oh, they're already signing off. All right, bye.
Bye.